So there are three main components to our artificial intelligence: selection, curation, and layout. So the story begins with the customer choosing their photos. But now, rather than them filtering through and sorting out all of their pictures, they can simply upload their entire folder or camera roll and let the software choose the best photos for them. Now, I'll come back to this on the next slide. Next is the creation stage. So this is where the software will create image lists and micro stories, deciding which pictures work well together, as well as creating no crop zones to avoid cropping over faces. So it's the face detection inside there as well. And finally, the software will create the page layouts. Using the micro stories that it created in the previous stage, it'll then work out which pictures should go where, on which spreads, and create the book. Some screenshots of a typical user's camera roll. So we've got pictures from vacations, got some selfies, got some pictures of our food, and also some screenshots and things like that. So a bit of a mixture. You can also see there a good example where we have the sunset. We've taken around 8 pictures of the same shot there. So what should we do with those pictures? The artificial intelligence will basically choose the best pictures through a number of different algorithms. First of all, it's going to rate the pictures and give them a quality rating. So looking at the score of a face, the blur, color, saliency. It will also look at documents. So if you have any screenshots or photos of your expenses, it may remove them as it'll find them unnecessary, unwanted. It will then look at pictures which are too similar. So if you've got 5 pictures of the same selfie, what it would maybe do is choose the best 2 pictures. And it will also look at the location of those pictures as well to help keep the page layout relevant. The next stage is the curation. So here it will create micro stories and page grouping. A good example of this would be on the camera roll earlier, you saw lots of pictures of food. When we're creating our photo book, we don't necessarily want to have a picture of our dinner on every single page. But what might be nice is a collage of all the different meals we had during our holiday and in one small collage. Not taking up every single page, but just one page, little collage. So that's kind of a micro story. That's the idea here. So pictures of similar pictures, maybe your day at the beach, maybe you're inside the forest or at the restaurant, and it'll group those pictures together to create these micro stories. Then, together with the micro stories and the face recognition, it will create our page layouts. So we can see on the left-hand side, we've got the crop areas around face, so we'll make sure that we don't crop anyone's face out of a picture. Then we can see a nice example of a collage of food and cakes here. On the top right-hand corner, there's actually a burst collage. So it will also detect, if you've got more than 7 pictures actually, it will detect that this is actually intentional. So rather than just have 2 or 3 pictures of the same selfie, this is a burst of somebody on their skateboard or whatever, like an action shot, and it will keep that burst intact, like it's done here. And the other pages we can see, these all look very similar. We're outside, they're on grass, it's obviously from the same setting, so it's kept those pictures together in a coherent manner. My pictures are already preloaded. These are just my wedding pictures. I've loaded 176 high resolution professional images. We've got 100 pages in our book block. Nothing's happened just yet, but I can press autoflow, and what it will do now is it's going through the different components of the AI. So the selection, the curation, and the layout, analyzing the pictures that I've chosen, choosing the best pictures, creating the micro stories, and then designing the page layouts. Okay. What it will also do, I'll come back to the demonstration. What it will also be doing at this time as well is rating the quality of faces. So this is how it's going to select the best pictures, looking at the face quality, face size. It actually looks at 128 points per face. So, basically, are you looking at the camera? Are your eyes open? Are you smiling? How large is the face? And then it's going to give that picture a face score, so it can help decide which pictures, which selfies, which pictures of you and your family are the best pictures to use. Face recognition can also detect the main characters inside the story. So if it detects that the picture of your wife or your daughter is in 70% of your pictures, then it can kind of work out that that person is obviously of importance. Whereas somebody in the background of a picture, like this guy here, is maybe incidental. So he shouldn't be the kind of focus, and we're not too bothered about that person. So it can also work out persons of interest based on that. So your daughter or your wife, like I said. Okay, let's go back now to software. So it's finished auto-flowing my pictures. We always leave the cover empty so the user can pick their favorite picture. But then if I start to look at the album, where we really see the first major difference is page 4 here, where we've got a collage of specific details from the wedding. So we've got close-up shots of the dresses, of the flower arrangements, details like the lighting, cake, and so on. But there's no pictures of any faces here. So it's worked out that these pictures are, details, and it's grouped them together to create a collage. Whereas the picture of the bridesmaids here is a full screen, a full page picture. If I move on, you can see here that's me in the middle with my best men. We're outside, we're wearing the same suit. So it's very similar pictures taken around the same time, which are relevant to fit together. The next page on the left-hand side, you can see we've got the groomsmen. On the right-hand side, the bridal party. And then the pictures of my wife getting ready. And I'm just going to scroll through. We don't need to look at every page, but what it's actually done is it's created a very relevant, coherent book. Like here, we've got pictures of the guests all together. They're not muddled up with pictures of me and my wife. The shots are all relevant. The shots of the family are together. We've got pictures which are shot outside in the fields where we have similar colors and tones. Another nice example here where we're in the forest, but again with similar tones. And to create the collage as well, because there's multiple pictures which are similar, but it's decided to keep them. And then later on, we see again, as the wedding progresses into the evening event, we've got pictures of the guests in the venue, and then the party afterwards, where the pictures are all together of the dancing. So it's worked out these pictures should go together, but the next page where we've went back outside again to catch the sunset, it's put those images together once again. So what we have here really is a very, very good start for this album. To be completely honest, I ordered my wedding album a couple of months ago, and when I designed it myself using pictures one by one, it was in a very, very similar order. So if I was going to actually order this with my pictures, what I would probably want to do is maybe choose a different layout here, for example, but actually my pictures in the right order. I wouldn't have a problem with that. So it reduces the time. It took me days and hours each day to build a book with about 70 pages, whereas this can just do it in a matter of minutes, really.